Alright, welcome back to the stream. Today we're going to play some Anakin Colossus in the post-force throw meta. There is a list on the screen. It uses Stealer Guerrera and self-destruct to a... Well, self-destruct is to enable Anakin. Stealer Guerrera is to pull tactic cards out of your deck. It seems pretty good in playtesting so far. This is not my list. This is a list that was taken off Ysera's Discord. So Ysera was the one that created the original Ray Data Vault that got popular last set. So I'm starting with his list here. I have to flesh out the sideboard and then going to see what I need to change, if anything, here as well. So if you're new here, the same details. We play 10 games straight, record them, record the score, and just see how we go and reflect on the deck. So the deck link is in the description. So without further ado, let's jump into a game. I've been trying to make blue-red hero work for a couple of days. I've been trying Yoda blue-red as more of a control deck. It worked pretty well, but I actually think Anakin is better into the wider range of leaders at the moment, just because when he pops out, he does pop out with all of that power. All right, so we've got a Kylo Data Vault to start with. Now, Kylo Data Vault is going to have ton of removal, and it's going to try and get that big leader flip out against us. So let's keep the rivals, keep the Night Sister Warrior and the Sage. We'll start with the Night Sister Warrior just because it'll give us a draw. Anakin's ability allows us to trade up. And this is also one of the first decks that can utilize Watto. He can hit as a 3/6 in Anakin, which is pretty handy. And it's annoying for our opponent to, kind of like the indirect damage, they have to make decisions. Alright, so we've drawn our self-destruct. That is our enabler for Anakin. We can self-destruct the unit for 4. Do 4 damage to something, sack the unit, and we've now got an enabled Anakin in our deck. So, alright, let's hit with Watto. Let's see what he does. Whether he can give an experience, or he can give allow us to draw a card. Now, the trick with the Kylo green matchup is we have to put a bit of pressure on. Let's give it to the Night Sister Warrior just so he doesn't get an easy trade with the Technician. Alright, we'll play Stealer Guerrera. We'll draw a card. What is better here? Let's take... We could take a Takedown or a Fell. Let's take a Fell. Alright, we want to keep pushing damage here if we can. Alright, Cassian goes to the row. So Anakin's a leader that I haven't really played much with in previous sets because it got super popular, and I don't like to play the two popular decks there, so I never really had much experience playing it. Let's see what he does here. What is he doing? Healing 5 and defeating, and he's going to do it to our Stealer Guerrera, so it's when defeat and when played. So let's go and get another card. I don't want to take the rivals because I don't want to reveal to him that I have a removal for his leader. So I'm going to take the Grenade Strike. Alright, so let's hit base. Get him to make a decision again. We'll give the experience to Watto this time. Alright, so he's going to run into the Night Sister Warrior. Alright, let's hit into base for 3. He claims initiative, so he could have a... most likely have a Super Laser Blast here. So I could self-destruct, but then that just leaves a Watto by itself. I could play Cassian from the row, but that's very good after a blast. So let's just play a Sabine here, and then pass. Alright, the Crate Dragon is good. Gives us some reach at the back end of the game, especially if he can't remove it. So if he blasts here, what we'll do is play Cassian. Okay, he doesn't blast, he's going to play Vader. And he's probably going to run into, I would say, Sabine. And then what? Okay, so he doesn't remove it. So, okay, well, let's hit into base then with Watto. Alright, so we will definitely want to take that Pershing out so we can deal 2 damage with Sabine and do it all on Pershing. We'll end up felling the Vader. And then keep pushing with the Night Sister Warrior. He's only got 2 cards. Okay, and you can see what we've done here. We've forced him into an early deploy. Alright, so let's just claim. I don't think that's correct. Whatever he was doing there is early deploys. He's lost his surprise factor now with Kylo. Alright, so we don't need the second self-destruct. So what we can do is trade up with the Night Sister Warrior to take out the Kylo. So now we've got an Anakin, but we haven't enabled the Anakin yet. We've got a heroic card, but we don't have a villainy card yet. Alright, so I'm going to play the Owen out first, just in case he has Power of the Dark Side here. Alright, we'll give the experience to Owen. Okay, alright, so we'll get Owen back. Alright, we'll take the Luke. Alright, I think I'm just going to flip Anakin here. Take out his Anakin and we'll just play a Yoda for the card draw. Alright, we probably don't need the second Watto here. So he may have a board clear here. If he board clears, we can play out Cassian out of the row and an Owen. Alright, here comes the Vader. Does he have the timely for it this time? No, he doesn't have the timely. Alright, so we just keep pushing on his base then. Yeah, I don't think this is right, the way he's played this matchup here. Alright, we'll keep pushing base. We'll rivals the Vader and then play Owen out. Alright, and now we're in Crate Dragon territory as well. Alright, so heal up. That's one of the things that the Kylo suffers from, is having access to sort of limited card draw. Like it can cycle. Alright, so we just claim here because even if we attack him with that, we're not going to get the same as doing a 10 straight at his base. And yeah, now we've got another crate as well for him to deal with. So we'll just get the 10 damage in first. Yeah. Alright, so we start off 1-0. We have the score recorded up in the upper right hand corner. Well, let's see what we get next. Okay, this time we get a Boba Data Vault. So the trick with this one is that we need to be able to soak some damage up, and then we need to be able to handle the Boba flip. Okay, so we've got some damage soakers, and we've got open fire is really good in this matchup. Alright, so it's either takedown. I like Watto just because he's got a lot of health as well. And he's a super annoying unit. When that first got spoiled, I thought, oh, that's going to be a really good unit, and you'll see it in a lot of decks, but you do not see it because the meta's been quite slow. All right, so we'll get rid of the meta's been fast, I mean, so you need a slow meta for that to kind of like get maximum value out of it. And I think maybe we're kind of entering into that. I don't know. Okay. All right, so we'll hit base for 2. So we can open fire this. We can play the Watto. I think I'm going to play the Watto out. Get him to make some decisions here. All right, we'll keep the Luke because we want a rivals and then Luke on the following turn. Yep, and I thought that's what would be next, would be the Fet's Fire Spray, which is why I kept the open fire. All right, so let's attack with the Watto. He'll either give us a card or give us an XP. He's going to give us an XP, so let's give it to the warrior. We'll hit base again for 3. And this time we'll open fire on the fire spray. Alright, we'll get... Unfortunately, we're losing our Anakins in that here, but this open fire is very good on that platform. Do we have anything in the row? We do have a Cassian that we could pop out. This time we'll give it to Watto. Alright, he's going to steal the experience, unfortunately. Well, if we had one more mana, I could Daring Raid and then Cassian, but I think it's better to play Cassian out. Taylor, could see the 4 spaces falling out of favour in general, or just with Anakin leader? In general, I think you'll see less of it just because force throw was so overpowered. But you will see it, like there are new decks like Anakin Blue, and that will run the force. I don't think we need Stealer here. They will run the force decks, so you'll see them a little bit. But I think you're going to see more things like. Colossus and all that come out now, because Colossus was kind of taken out of the meta because let's take it one there. It was taken out of the meta because of force throw. All right, we'll just hit his base for 3. We've got the rivals, so if he puts Boba out, and the thing is, we can pop Anakin out now. So yeah, that's a mistake because you can hit for 6 now, and then yeah, we're hitting for 9, and we kind of put him in checkmate here a bit now because he's only 8 damage away. We'll keep both Daring Raids here. Okay, he's going to do 8, which is going to kill both of them, but then we've got Luke. He's going to need an answer to Luke. It's safe to take Luke down to 6. You don't want to take him down to 5 because of the Devastator. Yeah, so the 4 spaces, you will not see as many of them, but there still will be around. Things like Kiadi Mundi and that, the Red Heroic and that is just too good. Chirrut's too good. So you will see them. But you're going to see some new bases like Colossus, and I think, yeah. So there we go. So we moved to 2-0. Anakin is just so big. So I was trying to make Yoda work in this red-blue combination. But then when I swap to Anakin, he's just so good in the matchups where they kind of like just go space like that and ignore the ground. You get this massive unit out that can sort of compete in killing them as well. So, all right. So this is not a great hand because we have no removal for anything up in space. Like we can go Night Sister Warrior, Cassian, Stealer, or Kanan, which is okay, but it's not. I would rather like an Open Fire or something like that, or even okay. All right, let's go with that. If he plays the 3/2, so we can Daring Raid that and take that out. I much prefer a build like this over Force Anakin. Yeah, that seems to be working pretty well. Like, well, that's not a good hand. There, you can see the negative side of you're seeing the negative side of Colossus there. Like, this is a really bad draw at the moment. Let's see if we get burnt by it. We do have the Rivals for Luke, which is what you need. He may kill Owen here. So what do we resource? Yeah, we resource the other Owen, so it's not as if we resourced incorrectly here. Like, and now we're just getting done by lots of ships. Okay, well, I think we're fine with that. Him not attacking. Been thinking about trying a data vault Anakin. That would be interesting. Taylor says, I'm determined to make Piet work with Force Throw going. And with Force, it's looking more promising. Is that, well, Piet Red has been around for quite a while. Are you talking about Piet Red or Blue? Yeah, like this. Okay, he's going to have lots of stuff up in space there. We have no bombing runs. All right. But we have a lot of restore going on. And now he's put Chewbacca on. Yeah, we dare not win this with Chewbacca there now. I guess we deploy. But yeah, missing 2 turns. It really hurt us there. He should just claim. I probably should have attacked there, I think. Yeah. Alright, so we take him 7. But this is where you're just bringing your bombing runs and that from the side for this. But yeah, I don't know what you do from here. You bring Luke on the ground. No, he's going to take him in the sky. Alright, so I guess we rivals with the Ark. But yeah, when I was trying to get like daring raids, open fires, anything to sort of interact with space. I think Jedi starfighters would come in from the side. Alright, so we can shoot the Luke out, but he's doing 10, 14. We can restore not that much. We can restore 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. If we get all our hits out in sequence. But yeah, there's a lot of Chewbacca going around. Piet Red is definitely more promising, but I'd love Piet Blue to come good. I think Piet Blue, I think there's a ship in the next set that basically blocks out, while it's out, it keeps a unit tapped. I think that one may make Blue a bit more viable. I'm not sure what our opponent is doing. Hopefully he's not going to time out. And he's got 14. Yeah. So he got removed in activity, so we'll take it, but I don't think I win that one normally. Yeah, Piet Blue, there's a unit for it. Piet Red has done pretty well already. I think it's at least one PQ. Grenade strike. Yeah, let's go with that because we've been burnt a couple of times already by this deck, the Colossus. Alright, so let's claim. Alright, so this is tough. Do we keep the Stealer or do we keep the Kanan here? Because Stealer will give us the removal that we need. I think we have to keep the Stealer here. We keep the tech out because we need a play here. Alright, we'll play the tech. And you can see the Stealer here. So he'll run in to there. We're going to need the Stealer to... We probably don't need the Grenade Strike now. Alright, we'll play the Stealer. We need a Rival's Fall, which we'll take. Alright, so... Guess we just take it on our units and that here. He's going to flip Boba. But there's not much we can do about that. We'll just play our units out. And then next turn we'll Rivals it. I only played Force for Kiadimundi, Apple God says. Yeah, it's quite an overpowered card. It's quite a push card as well. Well, we may as well take it all on the tech here. Alright, we'll take that as well. We'll play the Kanan here. Alright, we'll just take it all on the tech. And then we'll play the Owen as well. He knows we've got the Rival's Fall, right? So you can hit him with Boba. We'll hit with Kanan next turn. But yeah, he did the right thing by deploying to ground then. Alright, we don't need the Rivals anymore. We'll hit over the top on the Boba. He should attack with the Fire Spray first. Okay, he doesn't. He hits us for a lot. And the trouble we're going to have is this this Raider. It's going to take us to 30. We'll pop Anakin out, and Anakin's going to hit for 10. And then we'll restore. I mean, self-destruct's probably not good enough now. It's too late for self-destruct. Have any thoughts about the leaders from the next set? Are you teching already? Not yet. I'm kind of waiting till the set comes 1 month out, and then because that kind of aligns with these bombardments are killing me. 6. So we have to take another, what, 6? Here, which takes us to, yeah, I think we're dead. That's 7. So still have to take another 5. Yeah, that takes us to 33. Even if I restore 2 from Owen, it's just not enough. Like, back-to-back bombardments is rough. Yeah. Alright. And we have no removal for the Ruthless Raider there. Alright, so we moved to 3-1. It's just unfortunate that we got the bombardments back-to-back there. Alright, so we've got a first turn play. We've got a no second turn. So let's mulligan. All right, so we'll get rid of the Sabine. Maybe the Anakin there. Yeah, so I normally wait till a month out, and then I'll start looking at the new leaders. A lot of people have been down on the new leaders and the cards in general, but I think there's some interesting decks and that will come out. Mon Mothma seems interesting, you know, as kind of a build around to see what, and especially once rotation happens, who knows where these leaders and that sort of end up. I like Padme. I think Padme will be an interesting leader as long as there's some good disclose cards out there. All right, self-destruct is pretty good. All right, we'll play the Night Sister out. Right, he's going to look at our hand, but we're fine with that because we should be able to kill this Kira. Yeah, some interesting cards. I thought the Andor card, Cassian, looks interesting. Chancellor Valorum in like a double green power, or, you know, if you can timely that in, you are getting at 6, you can like ramp up pretty quickly. Yeah, all right, he named self-destruct, so we can trade up in Akira. All right, Yaddle probably go. So we'll see what he does with Kira here. Hopefully we can get this a self-destruct off on Han or something. That would be set up for next turn to remove it. Okay, so he runs in. All right, we'll pass. We'll pass again. So what are our options here? We can either trade up with Anakin to put 4 on, or we can self-destruct to make sure we put 4 on as well, but then make sure if we draw an Anakin that we're ready to go. All right, so he's going to go Kira again. Double Kira. Self-destruct again. All right, so I guess we run into Kira and see what we get. All right, Rivals Fall's decent. All right, and I guess we open fire Kira there. All right, so let's claim. We've got nothing in our deck that can sort of deal with. I'll have to lose a Luke here. We got anything in our row? We have nothing in our row too. All right, we'll pass. We'll see what he plays. Hopefully he plays a big unit. It will give us like a fell target. Kind of feel like I'm missing entrenches or something in this deck. All right, let's pass again. See what he plays. He might play Kelleran out here. If he plays Kelleran, we'll fell it. And then next turn we have to try and rivals and try and claw back with Anakin. Alright, we'll rivals the Han this time. That last turn he just attacked. I thought he would have had something in his row or... Wow, we're getting killed on space. Like, to drop out 3 like this, it's not good. I'll hit base for 8. Alright, we can do some damage. We probably don't need the self-destruct now. Alright, we'll take 1 out. Either way, we can play the Owen out here. I'll hit base. Alright, so we've got Anakin. Right, Han Solo comes out for 5. If we hit for 10... Oh, no, what am I doing? I should open fired it. I realized that we had the only 3 life away. Alright, so this is going to be a grindy matchup, this one. So this looks like a good hand, though. Let's keep this one. This looks a pretty good hand. I don't even know if we need to open fire. But, yeah, I should have open fired that other one, but then I had no fell. So I think we're probably losing that one. Anyway, that play where he played the U-wing and he went Falcon and the 2 ships was, yeah, rough. Because we could deal with some stuff on the ground, but not 3 ships. Alright, let's get rid of tech and the open fire. So we've got a bit of card draw. It's going to be a grindy match. We've got to try and get some good trade ups, and that's a good trade up for us. Let's get rid of 1 fell. I want to try and get Anakin online this game. We haven't really got him online too much. Right, we'll draw a card and then draw a card again. Spark of Hope, so we'll play the Yoda out. Going to resource the Cassian. Alright, well that's unfortunate. Kind of wish I had the open fire now. Alright, so we did get the self-destruct though. So that is pretty good. Because what we can do is play the Owen. Whatever he does here, we can self-destruct it. Alright, is he going to bring out... The problem is, if I pass him, he just claims. We kind of wasted our entire turn, so I think I need to self-destruct. That one will get the card draw. And we'll claim. So we've got both aspects in the row now. I'll put Cassian down. Okay, we can... There and there. We can bring Anakin out this turn too. Well, maybe not. Just need our rivals now. Alright, let's take out the farmer. Here comes Kelleran. can fell Kelleran, and then we can play out a Night Sister Warrior as well. Alright, let's put Chewie in the row. We can trade up into Rey and kill Rey here, I think. I don't want her just staying around the whole game here. How did Rey become 4-8? He got negative -3 from the negative -3 from the Anakin, and then when she attacked, she was able to trigger again. All right, so he takes home 1. He's only got 2 cards, so I'm going to try to go for a Crate Dragon here. All right, probably got enough draw now. Because if he doesn't have removal in one of these 3 cards, he can't play his home 1. He'd already used 1 fell already. And we don't have a fell for that Crate Dragon, for the home 1 that he just drew. Alright, he might have a Luke. I think that's okay. Here's the home 1. Let's put all of this damage on into base. Alright, we'll claim. We do have a fell now for the home 1, but let's put 10 on base first. We'll get rid of that home 1. If he doesn't have anything here, like if he didn't draw removal, we might be okay in this match. Alright, he attacks with Mon. Let's put Kanan out here. Alright, 1 damage. Might as well just have that on base. Let's claim. Well, another 1 on base. Oh, you were dead now. Yeah. Alright, 4-2. So that's sometimes you have to like play to your outs rather than play to win rather than not to play to lose on that one. Not to lose. Because if he had a fell, we probably would have lost that one. Alright, let's keep. Cassian can go. We need the fell in case he gets a Inferno with Iden early. Probably don't need the Daring Raid. Oh, let's keep. If he has a Krennic, we can hit into it and then Daring Raid. Alright, so let's take the shield off Krennic. We've got our Daring Raid. We can play Stealer next turn. Okay, well that was quite good because if we hadn't of taken the shield off, we would have he would have stolen ours. Alright, let's claim. We'll clear the Krennic. Resource the Yaddle, and then our choices are Stealer or Kanan here. I think I'm leaning more not with that there now. We have to remember this is ECL, so they're more likely going to have Vader coming out. I'll put Cassian in the row. We'll hit the Sage. We'll trigger. All Things Fade says, think I played against me playing Yoda. I saw the ray popping in and out and thought that's familiar. Yeah, I have been practicing a Yoda blue-red. I found this list today. This is Ysera's list, and it looked pretty good. So let's draw. We'll take the Daring Raid. Yeah, so it's a cool list. I might show you right at the end. Might play a game or two of Yoda. This one is better into the aggro style decks, just because Anakin comes out so big when that happens. Alright, so let's just Daring Raid that Sage. Alright, so let's... Well, we may as well trigger... Take the Rivals. Okay. Alright, we're not in a great position here because of that last play. If we bring out Anakin, we're at risk of Vader. We're at risk of everything here. We are not in a good situation here. What are the two losses from? I think we lost to a Poe Dartbolt and a Han Green, so both space style decks. Yeah, we're in trouble here on this one. I think I've got to play Yaddle. I've got to play Watto, but it's not good because if he has the Vader... Let's see if he's got it. Yeah, this game's washed out here. I don't know what happened in this game, but we just kind of got blown out up in space a little bit. The barrage was obviously quite good for him in that. So, all right. So we move to 4-3. So not exactly working. Is it still on? So let's see how we go against the Snoke Green. The Yoda one probably would have been better in that. The Yoda is the Yoda Blue Red that I've got is more of a control deck. Now you don't normally see blue a heroic control deck, so but that's what I've been testing out. Is a Yoda Red control. It runs Stealer, same as this one does. But it's also got things like Super Laser Blast. So I'm trying to make Yoda Red work in a post-force throw meta as well. Alright, so we don't need Sabine here. So he missed his first turn play. Right, we'll drop Watto out here. We'll go Stealer. I found red-blue heroism isn't anywhere near as difficult post-force throw. Yeah, this one's good in certain matchups, but yeah, you do need that force throw a bit as well. That's why I built this one completely different. This one has alternate win conditions in terms of like mill and that as well that that you don't have. And to be honest, a lot when I'm playing it, people do not know what it's in it. They do not know until the last sort of 10, 15 cards when I start milling them, the strategy is completely different. Alright, let's hit base for 2. I'm going to play Stealer. I want to try and get... Daring Raids are only option there. Hondo Red Smuggle. But yeah, they didn't print any more bounty. So that's kind of the end of end of Hondo. It's still strong, but there's no massive blowouts. Yeah. Alright, we'll draw. Give us a Rivals 4. Alright, we'll hit base again with Watto. He's been giving us a card, so we'll go with that. Alright, so We can trade up and then daring raid. I think that's the way to go. And then next turn we can rivals. Oh, I'll play Kanan out. We'll give him a target. He may just ignore it and hit base. He's on double green, which means he's got no sort of like board wipes. And he's got no power of the dark side and that. So we can kind of flip Anakin without worrying too much about heavy removal. Liam says, evening, would you rather every set from 7 onwards have 2 new mechanics like the ones before? Or maybe 1 new one and 1 returning? You know, the problem is that the if you have returning ones, it just new players, it kind of hurts them a little bit because there is, I guess, more things to learn. But I can see 1 and 1 maybe like. But I'm fine with new mechanics as long as they come up with like fresh ideas for it as well. You know, and then if you're looking at some of the leaders that sort of putting out now, like in the new set, they're just kind of rehashes of what's already sort of established. Like Leia is just given experience, but you're going to disclose. Mon Mothma is like Hera, but like tribal official. So it's I don't know. As long, I guess it's hard to do too much unique stuff. But yeah, I'm curious to see Satine, to see whether or not that someone's going to be able to make a deck out of that as well. All right, but yeah, I like the new mechanics, the disclose and the plot seem pretty interesting as well. All right, so we move 5-3, but yeah, I was referring to the leaders there. So, but the mechanics themselves, yeah, I'd be okay if Smuggle come back, but there's other ones that I think coordinate should have been coordinate number, not just coordinate like always 3. It should have been coordinate 2 or coordinate 4. Give you a bigger thing based on what the on how many units you've got. All right, so we keep Sabine. Like I do like self-destructing the Owen. Let's go with that. Hopefully he doesn't have it shielded. Yeah, that's fine. He's gonna have to trade into that one. Satine will be a lot stronger post ECL Poe. Yep, exactly. I am looking forward to ECL Poe going away. All right, let's go Watto. It's a bit harder for him to remove. All right, so let's claim. He's going to be able to get some mileage with that red 5, but we'll be able to self-destruct it, hopefully. Okay, gives us an experience. All right, so I think we just self-destruct here. Well, he's probably going to play... Let's play the Yoda out. And then the Owen. Okay. We'll give him 1 free attack with the Poe. And then we'll self-destruct the Owen into it. Hopefully get a Anakin there. All right, he's going to run into... Well, that's going to let me trade up then. Unless he removes the experience. Well, I can still trade up then. Alright, so what can I do? I can self-destruct, kill this red 5. Ah, we missed. Kind of get burned if he plays a chariot here, actually. Alright, we can still trade up here. Did I miscalculate that? Or did he only have 3? That was a mistake. I thought he had 2 left. Okay. Yeah, I misplayed that then. Alright, we'll hit the... If I had drawn a Anakin there, it would have been good. But yeah, kind of misplayed that. Alright, here comes Kiadi. We're going to need our Anakin here. But yeah, I misplayed that. Alright, so we've got 5-3. This is our second last game. And then I'll jump on to some Yoda control. And it is a very different Yoda red deck. Alright, so let's deploy Anakin. Alright, he's going to run into it there. So let's... I guess we kill the Han. Because that's the only one we kind of like stay alive to. I think the -3/-3 had a -1 since it... Yeah, okay, that's what it was. Yeah. It was a -1 because I'm sure it only had 2 left. He did, but the game remembers negative, so Yoda. Yeah, okay. Uses regional governor, names Luke Skywalker. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, so... I guess we hit the Anakin now and play the Yoda and Kanan. I thought you had it too. Yeah. Alright, so let's play the Yoda. If he plays a Luke here, we can at least fell it. Right, gonna run Owen in. What did he grab? He grabbed the Luke. Alright, we'll play the Kanan. So you can play the Luke to kill the Kanan, and we can trade up at least to kill the Governor. Alright, let's trade up. We'll kill that Governor. Alright, we'll kill the Luke there. I'll use the rivals because we really don't have anything else to play. We do have Chewie in the row too, but he may play a Crate Dragon here. If he plays a Crate Dragon, at least we've got the fell. But yeah, he's been able to get both his Anakins going, and we haven't hit a single one of our Anakins yet. I guess we kill that one there. But yeah, this is a rough spot here. The Kiadi Mundi is one of those cards that's pushed for force, like costing 3 in Han and being able to put a 4/2 body with drawing 2 cards. Yeah. There's our Anakin, but it's a bit too late now. We can kill that one there. We can take out Kiadi and... yeah, we can take out there and reduce it for that Anakin, but it's a little bit too late. Yep. Yeah. All right. That was a rough game, that one. We moved to 5-4. Can we stay above the 50%? All right, let's keep this. We've got a takedown. We've got a Watto as well. What's better? I don't think he's going to play anything on the ground, so I'm just going to play the Owen to give us a little bit of a heal. And buy us some time till we can get Anakin out. He will be able to ping with Luke. What we don't want to see is Chewbacca. Chewbacca is all over the meta at the moment because you've lost the force throw. You used to be able to just force throw a Crate Dragon or something at it, but not anymore. We'll claim. Well, he kills the... Alright. I think we just open fire here on the Y-Wing. Do I think Colossus is better than a 30-point base at this point? It probably is for Anakin, but I don't know about other decks. The thing is, it was terrible while we're in the 4-throw meta, but now we're out of the 4-throw meta. It seems to be okay. But yeah, you do suffer the hand issues like we've been having. You do suffer from having a small hand and not being able to have options. I think that's why I like my Thrawn deck so much, is that you have so many options due to all the different card draw and that in there. Alright, if he puts a Chewbacca on, we're in trouble, but he doesn't, so that's fine. We can open fire it now. But we still need something for Luke. We need to be able to deal with Luke here. Alright, we'll take a Night Sister. Anakin definitely makes... yeah, Anakin... it works for Anakin. I'm not sure about other leaders. Alright, so we've got Luke coming out now, probably on the blue leader. And it's one of those situations now where we don't have an answer for it. Okay, well, that makes it easy. We'll take down that one, so at least he doesn't come in ready. And if he puts it out to ground, we can... yeah, he doesn't. We'll deploy Anakin. It just hit his base for 4 then. Okay. We don't have any enablers yet. For Anakin, do we even have a white? We have 0. Yeah, it doesn't switch on at all at the moment. So maybe let's get rid of Anakin for now. What do we got in the row? Anything? Just the tech. Alright, so let's go Yaddle, Kanan. Let's get our restore engine online a bit. Alright, so let's take out the other ship there. We can heal with Yaddle, which will turn on restore 1, and he'll turn on restore 1 for Kanan as well. That's an issue. All right, well, okay, we'll claim again. If we get a rivals 4, we're in good standing, but we didn't. Good point. Now you're thinking about self-destruct for Boba Data Vault. It's yeah, you got to have a unit for it, but yeah, it kind of works. Still don't. What can we do? Anakin can make it -3. No, I still think we do Luke and maybe Daring Raid on the blue leader here. So Luke will only hit for 1. We're Daring Raid here. And then we'll claim. Alright, so we want to get our hit with Luke in first, and then we play at Crate Dragon. Because he's going to hit with red. He'll hit with Luke and then red 5. Alright, Trench Run. Well, we play a crate and that should be it now. Alright, we've got just enough restore in that game to allow us to survive. Alright, so there we go, 6-4. So that's the Anakin deck. So not too bad. We didn't really face... We faced a lot of space aggro type style decks. We... which would naturally improve if we sideboarded in game 2. So let's have a look at what would be in the sideboard for that deck. So for me, I think you have to go Jedi Starfighter. So you want something for the Vader style matches. So we would go Jedi Starfighter for at least 2, maybe more. You would like a sort of bombing run, maybe 2 bombing runs as well. Entrenched for those Chewbaccas. What else? Cham. Couple of Chams. And then what else do we have in a deck? For grindy decks, we could do another Chewbacca, or we could... We've already got 3 crates in there. Maybe an additional rivals if we know that it's very dependent on getting that for removal. And then yeah, maybe another Chewbacca. Restock for mill. Yeah, probably restock's a good point. So let's take out that rivals and then let's just put 1 restock in there as well. So in that last matchup, we'd bring in the Starfighters. You could potentially bring in the Entrenched and that as well. You could probably trim down a Crate Dragon or 2, maybe even the Chewbacca, or maybe the Techs can go as well. Like Tech, when you've got an aggro kind of matchup like that where they're putting pressure on you, you're never going to get the value out of the Techs. So you can ditch them most of the time. And that, so yeah, just something like that, I think. So that list is in the description of the video. So for now, let's wipe out the score and play a couple of games of Yoda Red Control. So this is very different from the other Yoda one. We're not playing Force, we're just playing a standard 30 red base. And we've got the Crate Dragons as a win condition, and we've also got the Vigilances as a win condition. So let's jump in and see if we can win a game. 1 crate to sideboard and run 2 crates, 2 Chewies. Yeah, depends on what you think you're going to be facing. So here we go, Captain Rex, and we know what we're going to be facing here is a lot of ground. So let's keep this, and the reason we keep it is because we've got our only copy of Bombing Run, and Bombing Run against this deck is pretty good. Yeah, Chewie, like that 410 Chewie, you didn't see much the last Settle to, but it's such a cool card, that one coming out of the Smuggle Row. All right, so let's claim. Will we get through to a Super Laser Blast? Probably not. We're either dead or we've stabilized. So this is the double green deck that runs the Unity of Purpose. All right, we'll claim. Now I have to remember that I can't trade up. I've been playing Anakin a little bit. Okay, so probably don't need that Yoda. All right, Echo. All right, let's pillage his hand, because we might be able to get the Unity of Purpose here. We got Curious Flock and Clone Deserter, so we didn't get the Unity of Purpose, but not to worry. All right, let's draw. All right, a Bombing Run's actually not good at the moment. All right, let's play the Sage and potentially the Yaddle here. It's just, normally you don't see the Echo. You see a deck that plays all the little tiny ones. And yeah, something that I wasn't expecting, that Echo, because it's kind of wrecked what we were doing here. All right, we don't need 3 Vigilances. All right, so let's Bombing Run the ground. I got the Unity Purpose. There's not much you can do. Like I discarded all his cards, and then he just top decked that off the top there. So there's not much we can do on that one. That deck is like a super high rolly deck that I couldn't play it because you get tilted with the card draw sometimes. All right, so let's keep the Vigilance. We'll take the Stealer out. We'll try that, because we can go Sage, Yoda. We could potentially play Entrench, and we've got Ray if we need it as well. Okay, this potentially could have. I'll get rid of Redemption, a Saber on it. So let's Entrench. We only get Burn if he has a Waylay. Yeah. All right, we'll hit the Gungi there. All right, let's claim. A C-3PO would be nice. A Pillage, probably not, judging by the cards in hand. All right, let's draw. All right, let's just put Ray on top. We'll play Sage and the Warrior here. All right, we'll get rid of the Yoda. We just got to try and survive. You got to get through to the Yoda flip turn. All right, so what we can do is we can vanquish this one, Trying to decide what to play for Penrith. Yeah, I have no idea what... Oh, I know what I'd play. I would play Thrawn. But... Piet Red? Yeah, Piet Red's good. Alright, so let's put Pillage on the bottom. We'll put 2 on there so we can at least open fire it if we want to. He may trade in here. No, he doesn't. Alright, so we can open fire the Plo Koon. Try and pick something up we can play. And then next time we can Rivals and flip Yoda out. You just got to not put like a Saber or something on Obi-Wan here. Bombing Run is no good. Alright, we'll claim. We're going to cut it fine again. Yeah. We're just getting done tonight with super aggressive style decks, unfortunately. So, I think we Rivals there. And then we're going to be forced into a flip here. We at least hit the Falcon. So he's just got to have nothing that sort of hits straight away. Yeah, so we can hit the Venestra. Alright, we'll get rid of the Ray there. Yeah. It's yeah, 2 games there that just too aggressive for this deck. Too aggressive. Without force throws, it can be quite difficult. Alright, do we want the entrenched? Probably take the Ray away. Probably don't need the second Fell. Alright, let's hit in there. We'll just restore. Yep, here comes the Kiadi. Alright, we'll get rid of the entrenched. It just, yeah, okay. We'll hit in there for 2. The droid control ship version or the standard invisible hand. I think the invisible hand one's pretty good. Alright, let's draw. We'll put Ray on top. We'll trigger. And we'll run into base there. Alright, so we've got another Ray. I've got a restock. Don't need the restock. But we don't need double Rays either. Back to Colossus. Yeah, I was on Colossus for Anakin. Alright, so what we can do is... Let's vanquish the Eith Koth while he doesn't have the Force. We'll run Yoda into Mace. And then we can set up a Ray draw to kill Mace. Alright. So you got to keep an eye on their Force token and when they have and do not have it. And that worked out pretty well. Get rid of the restock there. Tonight is actually a bit cursed generally. I had a few invisible hand draws at locals tonight. And at least 2 of my Devastators in every one of them. Yeah, Piet is as a deck, like, it can be tough because it's very draw dependent. Some games you get invisible hand on curve and you just like smash through everything. Other times you're really struggling. All right, do we fell here? I think so. We got Yoda flip turn next. All right, we've got double open fire. Probably don't need Stealer here. Or is it the... Yeah, probably don't need Stealer this game. We need to kill something here to trigger Ray. So I think we just double open fire the Han. And then we can put something on our top and then flip Yoda. Oh, there we go. That's okay as well. All right, I'll put Ray on top. We'll flip. And then kill the Cassian. Kill that Han. Alright, so we're edging towards Crate Dragon territory. We do not have a removal though if he plays one. Which is an issue. What did I say? That we do not have one. Yeah, we are getting destroyed tonight on these matchups. Like, I don't know how we get out of it, this one. Because I can put... I need do another 4 damage. So let's play the Night Sister Warrior. We'll try and draw a fell. We'll say 4. It's not a fell, but it's a Steeler Guerrera. Alright, we may as well put 4 into trigger. That's our fell, but we're going to take a lot of damage. We'll pass on that one. Alright, bombing run, we don't need. Yeah, tonight's cursed. I mean, yeah, I haven't had the best of the draws. But this deck is definitely not working. If we had a Ray here, we could put Ray on top and then draw with 3PO. Yeah. Alright. Alright, I don't think I'll play this Yoda anymore for a while. Okay, let's try something else. So we went 6-4 with Red Blue Anakin. And then we went 0-3 with Red Blue Yoda Red Control. And yeah, that was rough. So let's try something a little bit different. And let's play some Thrawn and see if we can win some matches. I think I have to get rid of Maul there. We'll start with the Brute. Krennic is alright, but so is the Walker. That was your fault. I was literally thinking, man, a second crate would be on the brand. Yeah. Right, I'll play the Technician. Another technician as well, but I think we go Chronic Cobb. I don't know why he didn't trade there. Oh, I'm assuming that he is going to no glory that. Just get rid of power. Yep. We're still fine with that, I think. Like, tonight's luck means that Super Laser Tech is getting no glory. Yeah. Well, he might have been better than no glory the Cobb. If he's going to pass, I'll just keep pushing damage. We have nothing in the row. Okay to trade with Kira there. Just working up to a Super Laser Blast. Yeah, I mean, you could do, but like, if he does do that, we've got Cobb that's going to spawn 2 units if he did do that, so. We'll take a Chronic. Right, we can hit this TIE Fighter now. Oh. Alright, we can't kill this Vader, so we just play another Cobb out, I think. There's the barrage. Hopefully I don't regret doing that. I suspect he's got a Super Laser Blast here, so I am going to just hit base. If he plays something big out, I've got Super Laser Blast as well. Or he's got the other Vader. We'll take the Lothwolf and a card draw. All right, so let's take rid of the blast. We should be able to clear whatever we need to with the Vader. All right, he kills the Lothwolf. So we can do 7, so we can kill, yeah. All right. Let's take the Walker, we'll draw. Claims initiative, so do we kill the Vader? Let's just put some damage on. Right, so he fells. So I think we can double Anakin here. It's a super grindy matchup, this one. Right, we'll leave it at that. We can Spark of Hope. If he does something here, we'll trigger again. Alright, we'll Spark of Hope. Put that in the row, and we'll also play a tech here. We'll pass. This match gets significantly better after match 1. But for match 1, like this, you've got all your vigilances and all that is in the side. So you can win this with the... we'll trigger again. And then we'll maul over the top. You can win the second game via mill, and your mill game, providing they don't run double restock, is pretty good. Like, because you can restock it early and then play your like Infernos, your Cobbs, your all your card draw stuff to filter through the deck a lot easier. Alright, we'll play Owen out. But for the first game, all you got to do is like try and play small units and chip away at this life total. Alright, Anakin. Okay with that. Let's put that on bottom. We've already got enough removal for the moment. But yeah, if he realizes like we're 5 cards down on what he is, we'll pass. Alright, we'll play the Inferno. Leave those both on top. Sure. We'll pass. We'll play the Owen. Protect against power. I don't know how many powers he's played now. That's 1. We'll give a shield to Vader. Would you consider running Chewie in the side for sure? For Thrawn, potentially you could run it. Like, but the problem is that what do you take out? Like, there's that core package there. Maybe you could take out a Snoke or a Entrenched, but then you kind of weaken some other matches at the same time. All right, we'll take them all. We'll pass. I guess we do it back to him. But you can see, yeah, he's 5 cards up on us. Yeah. Just claim. We need our small units here to try and, yeah. I don't think we need a blast. I'll play a Lothwolf out. But in both my top 8 runs, this was the sequence for it, was that I would lose game 1, but I would win game 2 and 3. And what I would do, I would bring in 3 Vigilances, the restock, and the Bounty Hunter crew, and I would just mill these guys out. Because I can't... He's 5 cards different at the moment. So he's just going to pass. So I have to claim... Now I've got some small units here. I can play Scanning Officer, but yeah, he'll just keep removing. And I've got to hope for it's kind of a misplay. What I'm also looking for is I need to move to 12 resources, because what that will let me do is to timely that supremacy tie. Alright, so Let's maul before he uses Kira's ability for it. So 26-33. Alright, he does a craving power on it. That's not what we wanted to see because we wanted that to be low health. Vigilance has ruined it for me so many times. It's so close to beating them, and then 2 vigilances in a row. Yeah. Alright, we'll pass. We'll claim. So what can I do? I can do 7 overwhelm. Is that enough? No, it's 5 overwhelm. So we are so close to killing him here with the timely Devastator. Alright, we have to power. We have to hope he plays it. If he plays like an Inferno. Yeah, so we're going to get milled out here now. Because he has the Vigilances in the main. I don't. But yeah, he was very close to dying that last turn. Devastator is on played, not attack, right? So no overwhelm. No, well, you get to choose the when played ambush. So you ambush first, and then the when played you can change it that way. We'll put the timer in the row. We'll draw the Avenger. So yeah, you can choose when played in ambush, what order. But yeah, he was... Because he put the Craving Power. If he didn't put the Craving Power on, we would have been able to kill him on that one. Alright, we'll hit his base. I guess we'll discard. I think he's got a blast here. Yeah. Alright, so we just played the Owen now. And we'll take 8. We can restore 2. And then he needs to play an Inferno or something here. Yeah, so we're dead here. We'll see if we can get a best of 3. Any use for the CR90? Not in this deck. There's just too much. Alright, well, he doesn't want to have best of 3. Sometimes it's frustrating on Carabas that you play games like that and you're not getting a proper rep because you're only playing a best of 1, and if your deck is not suited to that kind of setup, like if your side has what you need, then yeah. All right, so we've got Owen. So let's get rid of the blast. I guess one of the Owens. We'll go Chronic into Owen here. Alright, we've already lost 1 blast. I don't think we can lose the second. So we go brute here. It'd be nice to get like a cob or something. Yeah, the Ezra's a bit annoying. Because he will get to complete an attack with that one. So I think we'll have to run him with the Krennic. Put 2 on him, he'll get an attack, and then we can try and clear with the Krennic again. Yeah, it can be, especially if you think you have something in the side deck or just pulled 2 bad hands. Yeah, I mean, for that matchup specifically, like it is a loss first game, pretty much. Like, and there's not much, you can get it close, and sometimes you'll jag it, but other times, yeah. Let's get rid of the blast. Let's just try and use Vader's this game. Yeah, so to beat that blue-green matchup, you just need these vigilances and that in the side. You bring them in, and you have a much better game into his deck because you. Wow, that's weird. Why did he not just hit base there? Because I was going to trade. You have a much better game because you've got card filtering. I don't know what he's doing. Okay. All right. All right, Spark, I hope, is really good because it will turn on our Anakin for the following turn. Yeah, no worries. I'll catch you next time all things fade. This is an interesting deck, though, this Han Blue. Alright, let's take a Maul. Alright, let's Spark. The good thing about Spark there is it does turn our Anakin on, but it also allows Thrawn to come out, and then it will get a double trigger with the Night Sister Warrior, and we can kind of cap his Han a bit. Like we can run in there, and then we can run in with Thrawn, and he's now lost his leader as well. He could pop an Anakin out here, though. A lot of these decks are running it, and then they just stop at 6. And sometimes they've got both villain and heroic. Alright, so we'll hit Han. We'll get a double trigger. And then he'll attack us, and then Thrawn can kill. Yep. Okay. Alright, so let's claim. Get rid of the Spark there. So I think I just mauled the Kanan here. What would have been good if I had a timely Vader? It would have been a great clear. But let's hit the Kanan. You'll have to do something about Maul here. If he has Anakin, though, it's quite a good clear for him. Kind of wish I kept that Super Laser Blast now in this situation. Because if it is Anakin, then it is tough. Yeah. Well, lucky it's not. Alright, timely is very good. Alright, let's timely in the Anakin. And we'll take out the Luke. So he doesn't have much card draw. He's only got 3 cards, and he's had this Owen for a while, so he may run it in here. Give himself some card draw. Right, we'll just hit base there. Right, we'll double trigger. We'll take that. We'll claim. We may end up killing the Owen next turn if he doesn't have anything on the ground, just to help our power of the dark side. Okay. All right, let's go with that. We can barrage. I'll clear the border out a little bit. We've got scanning officers, but the yellow-blue version doesn't run much. All right, let's power away there. All right, we'll claim. We'll get a good Anakin on the itinerant warrior. All right, we'll pass. All right, attack. Let's power away that. All right, we'll claim. All right, we're starting to draw fire now. Like, this is what you want to see. You want to see Maul out as the answer to Chirrut. He may drop a Luke here, but it can only kill Maul. It can't kill Anakin here. All right, we'll drop the Night Sister as well. We would like a Luke or a Avenger, anything like that would be good here. So he named Reinforcement Walker. Okay. All right, we'll play one more, and that'll do for tonight. So we played some Red Blue Heroic to see what it was like. It's okay, but nothing to write home about, I don't think. All right, so one more Thrawn. Okay, we got a Cad Bane red Tarkin Town. This deck is pretty good in a Cad Bane, especially if you can get those Desperate Warriors. We didn't this time, but we got an okay hand. Couple of powers. All right, let's see what he does here. If it's the double ping one, the one with the 2 openers. Yep, see Criminal Muscle. If he has another Criminal Muscle, he can remove Krennic. He doesn't. So he played in the wrong order then. He should have played Greedo first and then Criminal Muscle. Would have been a much better order there. All right, let's get rid of Maul. All right, we'll take out that Criminal Muscle there. All right, we'll heal. So he doesn't Tarkin Town, so we'll play the Night Sister Warrior. You can see now I've got the spark. Yeah, so he does not like playing against that. All right, one more then. That wasn't really much of a game. Piet red. So we're going to have lots of big space stuff here. It's too hard to keep that one. I think we do have Timely Vader here. keep the tech. Alright, let's go with that. That's not me. Who, Liam? Is that Sir Ivanhoe? On Piet Red. Alright, so that's good for us. A probe droid. You don't see them very often. In set 1, they were everywhere, the probe droids. In the old Boba 1 decks, used to run them. Oh wow, we are getting spoiled for choice, so we get rid of the Vader because we're going to draw lots of stuff. We'll play our tech. Let's get rid of the. Let's get rid of the squadron here. Yeah, not me on Piet Red. I still get that weird connection bug with Karabast. Yeah, I was getting that. I got that for like a day or so, and then it went away. So we do have a bit of a problem here in terms of if he does play an invisible hand, we actually got no removal for it at the moment. Let's play Cobb. Yeah, you really want like a fell or something here, because up here, if you play something, especially invisible hand, could be in trouble. I'll play Night Sister Warrior. He's going to play something out for 7 maybe. That's why he flipped. Okay. We'll take it on Cobb. We'll pass. I played someone running this deck the other day and running the Thrawn deck, and they would claim before while they still had Cobb on the board, and that's definitely a mistake. Alright, so we can get rid of the Lothwolf now. Because if someone kills it after you've claimed, you don't get to play the units out for free. I've got hyperspace versions of these Cobb vamps. They're pretty cool. I had them for ages, and when they printed the Night Sister Warrior, that's what turned it around for Thrawn, because he wasn't that good last set. He was okay in red, but in the other flavors, he was no good. So yes, that's the hyperspace Cobb vamps. Pretty cool. Okay. That's problematic. Alright, so I'm actually going to... Let's draw a card first. And then draw another card. Right, we didn't get what we're after. Alright, so if we... What can we do here? We can... Anakin to -3 there. Bring Thrawn out. Kill that. I guess, like, that's... The hyperspace for Cobb have shot up too, unfortunately. Because, yeah, the power's no good here. We need to... We need to kill this Piet. But we're going to take a lot of damage because we didn't have removal for that Devastator. If we had a fell or something, we would have been in a pretty good spot. That's why I went for the double draw rather than the Cobb Vanth. Alright, there's our removal. We'll keep Spark in case we can activate it at some point. All right, are we going to get done by a giant planetary bombardment here? Or it might be a overwhelming barrage? No. All right, so let's hit him with Owen. Okay, all right, well, no glory the Devastator. We can play a Cobb here. Let's play a Cobb for 2. Alright, let's push some damage. Alright, Super Laser Blast. That seems pretty good. Especially if he barrages or something here first. Or if he planetary bombardment, we can take all the damage on our units and then the Super Laser Blast. Because he's got 10, we've got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Could hit the Cobb here. Yeah, it's gonna be close. Kanek is a 28, but then he's still short at the moment. We can take him to 25. Alright, so timely. Can we timely anything? No, we can probably Owen though. Double trigger. Try and grab something here. We can get a Snoke. Let's go Vader. So Snoke will help us. I probably don't need 2 Vaders. So we've tanked everything in space here. All right, we got there. Got there in the end. Close one to finish off the game against Piet Red. Had some pretty nasty spaceships up there. But, yeah, played your outs again. And we were able to get a Snoke, which helped us right at the end. So, all right, so they're the decks. Thrawn, still my favourite deck at the moment. I had a lot of success with the Anakin, but not really on stream. So I have to have a look back and see what can be improved there. And then the Yoda deck, it's had a lot of success off stream as well, but had some rough matches. So, all right. Well, thanks again, and I will catch you next time. Maybe we'll play Thrawn or something, or find something else. Rey is in an okay spot as well. Maybe some Yoda, Endless Legions for a bit of fun would be interesting.